So let me give you a very simple exercise that I think is very useful if you want to get good at digitally painting faces. And this exercise will only take you like a few minutes of your day, and it's also not that boring, means you will be able to do it almost regularly. Okay, so the way this exercise works is basically you take a reference picture with at least decent lighting and try to paint a mask using that reference. The only thing that matters in this exercise is the form of the mask. A human face is a round object with a lot of complex forms added on top of it. And in this exercise, we are simply removing all that complexity. But there is one rule to this exercise, which is you cannot use the soft brush for painting. You can only use a hard edge brush. Now you might ask why? Well, because a soft edge brush would make this exercise too easy. A big part of painting rounded objects is creating gradients, which the soft edge brush does automatically. And trying to create gradients manually is important to learn brush control. Okay, so let me explain to you how I do this exercise. First, I create a drawing of the mask, which is completely an optional step, and you can skip it if you want. Then I paint the background color, and it is important that you establish the background first. It will help you judge your values better. Then I create the lighting, which in this reference there are three. First is your main lighting, which is lighting the center of the face, and I use the pressure opacity of my brush to create the gradient. I press harder for the center of the face, and as I go away, I gradually decrease the pressure. And I do the same for the other two lights. And then I paint the highlights on the areas where the light is hitting directly. And in the end, I might even use a blending brush to blend some of the edges. Remember that accuracy is not the important part of this exercise. The important part is that the form of the mask should read. And the more you do it, better you will get at it. Now for the next mask, I will increase the complexity a bit, but the process will remain the same. Now, why do I suggest this exercise? Does this actually help in any way? Well, I started doing this exercise a few months ago because I was personally struggling with the form of the head. Now, if that was the case, I could have just drawn more heads, right? Well, I did, but I wanted something quicker, something that I can create more in a short amount of time. That is when I started doing this exercise. It's simple, it's quick, and it's effective. And I can also use this as a quick warm-up before I start a portrait painting. Okay, so that was all I had to say. See you in the next one. Goodbye.